And then I'll move us directly in roll call.
Larry Bowman,
Present.
Davin Perry,
Present.
Cassandra Quisnell, Carrie Bro,
Present.
Bill Campbell,
Present.
Jesse Camacho,
Present.
Jennifer Morton.
Present.
And I have taken the list of staff in attendance.
All right, thank you. Council, what would we like to do about tonight's agenda? And Mr. Tripp, there is one addition, correct, for public hearing?
Yes, that's correct. Public hearing for the assortment of ordinances associated with the House bill later on the agenda. I'd like to do a public hearing to cover all of them at once.
There is one, Harry, can you say that one more time? I don't think everybody could hear you.
We do have a public hearing scheduled for this evening. The public hearing is designed to cover the proposed ordinance on the council agenda relating to House bills that are later in the ordinance section. So we're hoping to have a public hearing that will cover all of them.
All right, thank you. And then council, one additional item here for Miss Quisnell. She's not in attendance from what I'm seeing up there. So what would we like to do about her absent this evening? I don't have anything. If she had been in contact with anybody.
She reached out to me and indicated she would not be making it this evening, and she planned to be joining via Zoom next week.
Okay. All right. That's what we'd like to do about her absence.
Move to excuse.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any further questions or comments? Not seeing any. All those in favor? All those opposed? All right. Motion passes 5-1. All right. That'll move us directly into our agenda approval. We do have the public hearing, and that is going to pop up here in a second. Any questions or comments for tonight's agenda? Any questions? All right, can I get a motion for it?
Move to approve the agenda.
All right, a motion. Do I have a second? A second. Any questions or comments? Not seeing any. All those in favor? All right, that passed unanimously. I don't see anything for announcements, presentations. That'll move us into council report. Any reports? Anything? I'm not seeing any. All right, that'll move us into staff reports. Anything? All right, thank you. Well, that'll move us into our public hearing. And we'll go ahead and move into our public hearing at 5:33 p.m. And then Mr. Becker, if you could please the announcement for which items you're.
Yeah, I'll cover it.
Okay.
In 2023, a bill was signed into law with the intent of making it easier to convert existing non-residential buildings to residential uses in commercial and mixed-use zones. HB 1757 expands RCW 38A 21440 to include existing buildings and residential zones. The affected code sites needs to amend the zoning development regulations to conform with the statutory requirements by the end of the month, June 30th, 2026. The planning department is proposing a series of ordinances to ensure compliance with HB 1757. The first ordinance, which is C 1121, proposes an amendment to AHMC 1409-080 exemptions. This would provide for an exemption to the traffic impact fee for any of these units being created. This is required by the RCW. Ordinance C-1122 provides amendments to AHMC 1706-030 permitted uses. This allows for the conversions to be permitted within our NFR, which is our neighborhood family residential zone. Ordinance C-1123 amends Airway Heights Municipal Code 1709-030 permitted uses. This permits the conversions within the MFR, which is our multifamily residential zone. Ordinance C-1124 amends Airway Heights Municipal Code 1710-040 allowed uses. This permits conversions within the commercial zones as a function of a mixed-use development. And the last ordinance is C-1125, which amends Airway Heights Municipal Code 17.21.020. Number of off-street parking spaces required. This waives parking requirements for these units as they're created, which is also a requirement of the RCW. These ordinances and proposals were reviewed by the Planning Commission. They were unanimously recommended to the City Council. The record is in the packet along with the staff report. So if you have any questions.
All right, any questions from council? All right, is there anybody online who would like to address Mr. Becker or the council on these matters? All right, well, I am not seeing any, so we will go ahead and close the public hearing at 5:36.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Becker. All right, that'll move us into the consent agenda. Item A is the approval of minutes from May 18th. Item CA2 is approval of minutes from May 26th. Then item CA3 is the acceptance of the Garfield Road roundabout fiscal year 24 congressional directed spending. And all right, council, what would we like to do about tonight's consent agenda?
Move to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? All right, I think Mr. Campbell got his hand up first. All right, any questions or comments on the consent agenda? Not seeing any. All those in favor? All right, that passed unanimously. That'll move us into our action items for this evening. Item A, Ms. Minotti, is going to be the Officer Wellness Grant acceptance. The floor is yours. We're getting you unmuted here in a second. All right, Ms. Minotti, are you on? Can you raise your hand? Okay, there you go.
Oh. Sorry, guys.
No
Having a
worries.
hard time logging in.
All right, we are on the Officer Wellness Grant acceptance. The floor is all yours, ma'am.
Yeah, so last week I talked to you guys about accepting this award for $20,000 that would go to Grassroots Therapy Group, which is located in Spokane, Washington. And this grant would go to a licensed mental health therapist who we've been working with for 3 years, who helps provide mental health support to our peer support team and also officers. And also she helps with critical incidences.
All right, council, what would we like to do about item A?
Move to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Camacho. All right, any questions or comments from Ms. Minotti? Not seeing any. All those in favor? All right, that passed unanimously. That moves on to the T-Mobile lease agreement. Ms. Miller, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Council. It was briefed last week at your study session. This is the third amendment to the option and site lease agreement with T-Mobile. We were able to renegotiate the lease agreement with the cost. So in 2028, October 5th, 2028, the cost would increase from the $1,238.50 a month to the $2,585.49 a month. After that date, every 5 years, it'll go up by 15%. And this is a lease that'll be 5 additional 5-year extensions. So we're setting this up for a long-term lease that will include, again, those increases for inflation as we go through. council doesn't have any questions, I do want to request your approval for this third amendment to the agreement to authorize myself as a Public Works Director to sign amendment number 3.
The only thing that I was going to ask is if you could brief the council on which items these were for the actual renewal.
So this is our T-Mobile site. We have one major site in our park in terms of, sorry, our park's name is Sunset Park, sorry. On top of that tank, we have two contracts, T-Mobile and AT&T. So the T-Mobile is the contract we're talking about. It's the site there at the park only. And it's basically the highest point in this entire area. And they were very interested in working with us to come to an agreement that works for the city of Airway Heights.
All right, and then Mr. Tripp, I know the tank got painted recently. We had to remove the equipment, had to be
Yeah.
reinstalled. When's the next time the tank or that we would have to repaint the tank?
So it will have a lifespan to turn over probably in the next 20 years. We'll be looking at that paint and seeing what the condition is. As an amendment, all of the original underlying agreement are still in place, which is to remove their equipment. We went ahead and made a point, just because it's not very clear in the original agreement, that we do want them to paint any scratches or areas when they remove their equipment if they were to.
All right. Council, what would you like to do about item B? Oh, okay, sorry.
That's okay. I know that in years past, whether it was T-Mobile or AT&T, when they have been in the parks, with their equipment, there has been some damage. Do we have anything like in this contract that will hold them accountable for fixing it properly?
There is an identified easement that they should be accessing, and it does talk about making sure it's maintained and put back appropriately. If it happened in the past, it was possibly because we didn't enforce the agreement that's in place.
All right, council, any other questions? All right, what would we like to do about item B?
Move to approve.
A motion, do I have a second? All right, thank you, sir. Any questions or comments? Not seeing any. All those in favor? All right, that passed unanimously. Thank you.
Council.
Ms. Miller, that'll move us into item C, which is our Scraps Advisory Board appointment. Mr. Tripp, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Chair and Council, this is a follow-up from last week's discussion in reference to the city's involvement with straps for animal control. As part of that particular agreement, straps provides that the jurisdictions that participate within it will have an opportunity to make a nomination of their representation. City of Liberty Lake has proposed that Mr. Mark McAvoy be that regional advisory board member on behalf of smaller cities and towns. This evening, the council is asked to consider whether or not it desires to also concur with the city of Cheney, city of Medical Lake, and town of Rockford in nominating Mr. McAvoy, or if it would desire another representative to serve in its stead.
All right, any questions or comments? Not seeing any. Council, what would you like to do about item C?
Move to approve the appointment.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Camacho. There's no further questions or comments. Council, all those in favor? All right, that passed unanimously. Then move us on to a few ordinance here. Mr. Becker, you have about the next 6 items here. So what we'll do is, if we can go through one item, we'll go ahead and, because I'm assuming all these are second reads, correct? Okay. And there's no items that you wish to push back or, all right, so we'll go item for item and they'll brief them. We'll take them to a vote and go from there. Sir, the floor is all yours.
Sure. Ordinance number C-1121, an ordinance of the City of Airway Heights, Washington, amending Airway Heights Municipal Code 14.09.080 entitled Exemptions and providing for other matters related thereto.
This ordinance is to provide the traffic impact fee exemption as it relates to the building conversions.
All right, thank you. Council, what would we like to do about item D, the second read of ordinance C-1121?
Move to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? All right, I have a second. If there's no further questions or comments, all those in favor? All right, that passed unanimously. That'll move us on item E.
Ordinance number C 1122, an ordinance of the city of Airway Heights, Washington, amending Airway Heights Municipal Code 17.06.030 entitled Permitted Uses and providing for other matters related thereto.
This ordinance allows for the conversions within the NFR neighborhood family residential zone.
All right, council, what would we like to do about item E, the ordinance C 1122?
Move to approve.
Have a motion, do I have a second? All right, if there's no further questions, all those in favor? That passed unanimously. That'll move us on to our next item, item F, the second reading of ordinance C 1123. Ms. Moses, the floor is yours.
Ordinance number C 1123, an ordinance of the city of Airway Heights, Washington, amending Airway Heights Municipal Code 17.09.030 entitled Permitted Uses and providing for other matters related thereto.
This is an ordinance allowing for the conversions to take place within the MFR, our multifamily residential zone.
All right, thank you. Council, what would we like to do about item F?
Move to approve.
Have a motion, do I have a second? I have a second. Thank you, Ms. Bro. Any questions or comments? Not seeing any. All those in favor? All right, that too passes unanimously. That'll move us on to item G, which is ordinance C 1124.
Ordinance number C 1124, an ordinance of the city of Airway Heights, Washington, amending Airway Heights Municipal Code 17.10.040 entitled Allowed Uses and providing for other matters related thereto.
This ordinance permits the conversions within our commercial zones as a function of a mixed-use development.
All right, council. Any questions or comments? Not seeing any. What would we like to do about item G?
Move to approve.
Have a motion. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Pancho. All right, all those in favor? All right, that too passed unanimously. That'll move us on to ordinance C 1125.
Ordinance number C 1125, an ordinance of the city of Airway Heights, Washington, amending Airway Heights Municipal Code 17-21-020 entitled Number of Off-Street Parking Spaces Required and providing for other matters related thereto.
This ordinance waives parking requirements as required by the RCW regarding the conversions.
All right, council, what would we like to do about item H?
Move to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? All right, I have a second. Any questions or comments? Not seeing any. All those in favor? All right, that too passed unanimously. We have a third read of ordinance C 1126. Floor is yours.
Ordinance C 1126, an ordinance of the city council of the city of Airway Heights, Washington, granting a non-exclusive franchise to Comcast Cable Communications Management LLC and other matters properly related thereto.
All right, Mr. Tripp, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Chair and Council. This is the third reading of ordinance C 1126. This ordinance provides for the continuation of a franchise agreement, non-exclusive franchise agreement that is with Comcast Cable Communications. To date, since we did the initial introduction and the subsequent review of it, there has been no changes since the initial proposal.
All right, thank you, sir. Council, what would we like to do about item I, the third reading of ordinance C 1126?
Move to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? All right, thank you, Mr. Camacho. Any further questions or comments? Not seeing any. All those in favor? That too passed unanimously. There's no call for resolutions, Transportation Benefit District. At this time, we'd like to open the floor for citizen comment. If there's anybody from either online or who's in attendance who would like to address council, please let me know. All right, I have nobody signed up in here and I'm not seeing anything from online. No call for a workshop. This evening, we do have an executive session. Dan?
The purpose of the executive session will be to discuss with legal counsel current or potential litigation and discuss with legal counsel the legal risks of current or proposed action. And it will take approximately 30 minutes. There are no items left on the agenda, so we can go straight to adjournment if that is what the council chooses.
All right, thank you. Well, give us about 5 minutes to clear the room. We'll take a 30-minute 30 minutes for this executive session, and we will go ahead and adjourn from there. All right? Yeah, we can just do it in here. Is that good for everybody? Okay, I mean, we're already